And we have to get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people and put them in a car and drive them and get that vaccine in their arm. That is the mission. And we have to get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people and put them in a car and drive them and get that vaccine in their arm. That is the mission. And we have to get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people and put them in a car and drive them and get that vaccine in their arm. That is the mission.
Alright, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Racha Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that teaches word in our true faith and sincerity. And today, I just want to title this lesson, Though They Roar. Because you can see in this point in time, this very moment, we actually in the process witnessing the downfall of the so-called white man. You know, and the very pillars that upheld this man, such as deception, you know, these different enchantments, you believing in, you know, in his media, the rhetoric that he puts forth is being taken away. And now we're in a time of desperation of the devil, you know, to where now this man is beginning to show his true horns. His agenda is being made known now. And pretty much, as you can see, which I ain't got to go into all of these articles, but they bringing the mask back. See, you thought your face was just going to be locked up at that one point in time, but it's back again. The mask is back, man. And it's mandatory. Which this ain't the only thing that's gonna become mandatory in the near future, man. But you can see pretty much throughout Babylon, you know, the mask is back and it's mandatory. You know, Governor Parson reimposing mask mandates regardless of the jab status. See, St. Louis reinstates indoor mask mandate. See, and it's mandatory, meaning it's law and legislation, man, put in play to say if you don't put that mask on, you can't enter. We can't serve you. You know. Oh, look at the one at the bottom. County councilman calls mask mandate illegal, and that lets you know the plans of the so-called white man is not going to work. Tells you the kingdom divided against itself, how it's going to stand. And we seeing it on all levels that this man and this plot, this scheme that he's been conjuring up, it's not going to work, man. So, matter of fact, let's get this in the book of let's start off in the book of was it 2 Corinthians 2? 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It reads, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." See, we're not ignorant of the device of the so-called white man. We very well must know what this man is planning, what he got in his mind, what he's about to do, you know, attempting to do. So now his agenda is being put out in the forefront. The very same play that he was going to run, we know it before he snapped the ball. That's why I said we are not ignorant of his advice. So that lets you know it's all about understanding the light or you being in the dark about things. This is how this man was able to get an advantage of us. because we had no understanding, and he's also a cunning hunter, man. But it's been made manifest that the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and he got this agenda, this new world order he's trying to accomplish, depopulating the people, tagging you by the way of a microchip. These things are now being made manifest. People are not ignorant of that no more now, and that's what's going to contribute to the wrath. This is going to contribute to more draconian laws being passed. You know, because he's coming in the name of health. You know, but you ain't biting on that. But he love you so much that he'll rather kill you than make you be, keep you from keep having the crown. They'll rather kill you than you to have the crown. This Revelation 13 verse, I started 11, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. This talking about America, this America, and in two horns, dealing with its political system. And it said like a lamb. Why? Because when they pitch themselves unto you, is to benefit, the people, so called. That's why motherfucker, they try to convince them to vote for him, even though that's dangling keys in your face. We already know that it's people putting the strings behind the scenes. But how these so-called leaders, this political system, and what they present as beneficial, as they are for the people to help you out. But when this nigga opened his mouth, he spoke as a dragon, the draconian laws, those harsh, severe laws. Because now it's going to get to the point, you can't go into the grocery store without having that thing. You can't even go get gas. For you niggas, you want to be conscious, but you going to buy a Rello, but you can't. Cause you ain't got that jab. You conscious about the jab, but you asking for a Newport 100, but you can't unless you got that, man. But as time goes on, as this man continually fail on certain things that he pitched towards the people, pretty much those laws is going to become more and more harsh. It's not just you just having a mask on again, man. It's going to get worse. The lockdown that's about to take place is going to be worse than the first one. And this man know that. And he understand that pretty much he only got one shot at this. And this is why this, pretty much at the end of the day, this is why he's, matter of fact, let's get some real quick. Job 5. Job chapter 5. Verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, see? So your device is being disappointed. Why? Because we not ignorant of it. We know about your plans, your plots, your schemes, man. And just going back to the clip, it's not about, now it's saying now we got to get these people in the car and take them now. Why is that? Let you know this is the desperation of the devil. It should sell itself if it was so real. If it was so dangerous and so real, it would sell itself, man. But now this man got set forth laws and legislation to make you do it. Do it or else. You want to eat again. You want to drink again. You want to continue to have your job, money flowing, have a roof over your head. You're going to have to conform to this world. You're going to have to roll your sleeves up and take that extra step. This is how you're going to pledge your allegiance to this devil, man. Because you worshiping the image, this system will lead you to taking that mark. And this is the beginning stages of it. But you also have people that say, no, 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 no. Why? Because truth has settled upon the planet Earth. Light has settled upon the earth. Now there's nothing that can be hid. Matter of fact, let's get something real quick. Let's get there in the book of St. Luke. Was that why I said the truth that was so long without fruit shall be declared. So that meant it was a point in time. It was somebody that had the power to actually suppress truth, which was the so-called white man, the devil himself, the biblical Edomites. But now let's get this, St. Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest. See, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. See, so it was a point truth was hidden. Even now, you actually got to go research truth. You got to go to certain, you got to fact check and, to find the truth, man. But it said it was going to be a point in time where it was going to not be known, and it said there's anything, neither anything here that shall not be known and come abroad. See, and how is it coming abroad? Through the internet. That's the vehicle the Lord have chosen to spread forth this word, so for the light to shine. The internet. This is how this man is being exposed. This is how he's been uncovered and light being shed upon him through the internet. So everyone can see it. That's why it ain't known as the World Wide Web for now. And this is why his plan. See, this man spent so many billions of dollars on to fight information, so-called misinformation. Really, he paying so many billions of dollars to fight truth now, man. Because that's a big part of why he's in the position he's at now. Through deception and enchantments, and But as that's not working, he will lean upon the sword more, and that's why you got laws and legislation to go into your homes without a warrant, and to throw you in the concentration camps, or you got summary execution where they can just go and just lay the whole house down. Summary execution. But all those are laws on the books. Because deception is not working anymore. So let's go back Job 5:12 again. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. See, so meaning they're not going to crown at their enterprise. It says this new world order will not be established, man. Well, their version of the new world order. Because it's going to be a new world that's going to be in order. But not with the so-called white man and his warped thinking is. It's going to be the kingdom of heaven wherein dwelleth righteousness. But the point is that this man is being disappointed because information, the truth has set upon the planet Earth. So what's his best bet? The military. Matter of fact, let me continue on. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime. See, so that was hurting them. And that's what's going to contribute to the rage. That's going to contribute to this man bringing forth the military and you seeing, tanks in your neighborhood and drones and door-to-door knocking with motherfuckers with M16s in their hands. That's what's going to contribute to that. Why? Because now you know that this man is devil. It was a sinister plan behind everything that he have done. Even now, coming in the name of health. He's coming in the name of health, and he wants you to be, as whole as possible, that he wanted to throw you in a concentration camp. You know what I mean? This is a crazy guy though. But it said they meet with darkness in the daytime, meaning with the things they try to keep in secret, dealing with these different means. Everybody know about the Bilderberg group now, or was what was that? The Bohemian Grove. That's now actually been put in the light. That was something that you was in the dark about. But light has been shed upon what takes place there, man. So how much more things they trying to do accomplish globally? The Lord have exposed that, man. It says, and grow in the noonday as in the night. Why? Because he don't do well when truth is around. When you are a liar and you got somebody that's always telling the truth, you're gonna be uncomfortable. Then you'll start reaching. You might start saying some crazy shit to get at the jam. And ultimately, if that don't work, you just kill him, man. And that's what we're about to see, man. The so-called white man and his rage, his wrath is gonna come down, man. So, matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Revelations 12. Because at the end of the day, no matter what this man do, all these laws and these legislations that's passed, how much he upgrade his military, it's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work. Revelation 12 and 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, see, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony of Yahushua Mashiach, see. So it said he went to make war with the remnant, man. And how's that been done? He draw it up first. He put different laws and legislations in play to justify doing it. And it tells you who the remnant was that keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahushua, which is the spirit of prophecy, which is this doctrine. The carriers of supreme knowledge. That's who this man is going to make war with. Because, yeah, you got truthers out there, of course. That's the spirit of the Lord as well. But they can't tell you why. They can't bag it up with a precept. They just can just tell you, the so-called white man is the devil. Yeah, they do sacrifice babies. But I can tell you why. And back it up with a precept. That's who he really want. And that's why you have laws on the books now that's setting everything up. You got his media, the rhetoric that he pushed forth. Everything is now coming into play because you seeing now is look at the one that don't have the jab now. It's not all of that, they you pushing get the jab, but now they saying you better look at the ones that don't want the jab, that's refusing it. That's who he's gonna get, man. But at the end of the day, the Lord's gonna lift up a standard against him, man. So this is the book of Jeremiah 5 and 22. It reads, "Fear ye not me, saith the Lord? Will ye not tremble at my presence?" See, and the so-called white man is not trembling at the presence of Yahweh Shemashah, which begins with the prophets. The prophets is the one that introduce you to Yahweh Shemashah before the Lord shows himself by the way of the scenario that we declare. And then, especially in this time, our Lord Yahushua is going to physically appear, man. But it's a build. Like I said, it starts by the way of this word, us presenting this message, this troublesome message. And this is what drove Herod to send forth the military because of this message, man. It's once again taking place, man. Because hey, that was an actual decree to uh to slay the 2-year-old and under, man. That was an actual decree, man. So how much more in this time this man, uh, which he already got on the books, to come out to us, man. So it says, will you fear you not me, said the Lord? Will you not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea, by a perpetual decree, see, that it cannot pass it. See, because guess what? All these kingdoms, they already got their time. They was gonna rule, what they was gonna do within that rulership, and how they was gonna fall. See, all those things was predestined, man. And it says by a perpetual decree, meaning it was never gonna change. Like somehow you're gonna adjust it, man. Get Esau 40 more years, man. No, man. It's already set in stone when he was gonna come in power. The different acts during his rulership, and how he was gonna go out the door, when he was gonna kick the bucket. All that is already decreed and predestined. It said that it cannot pass it. See, so meaning once your time's up, it's up. And Esau feel that on his heel, man. It says, and though the ways thereof toss themselves, see, matter of fact, and we know those ways is talking about the so-called white man, the proud waves. Let's see if I got this word, toss. I think this is it right here. Yep, this is it. Bear with me, Akim. It said, though they toss themselves, so that let you know this devil's being met with resistance. And it's agitating him. This is very frustrating. He was able to have a smooth ride, so called. The Lord allowed this man to have his reign of terror. But now at the end he's been met with resistance. That's just like you was able to open all these doors the whole time. You in a house and you been open all these doors. But it's that last door is locked. So now he's frustrated. Now he's getting physical. You know how you can turn the knob a little bit more harder. Now this nigga banging his shoulder trying to knock the door down, man. See, this devil hit a roadblock. Everything's about to come to a screeching halt pretty soon. But how he rationalized things out through his military, through the sword, waging war. That's why I say that's how he lives by the sword. So everything he do, he got something to do with a gun now. If he trying to fix anything, gonna have something to do with a gun, a knife, all the way down to a needle. But somehow you got to get pierced through for everything, to work out. So that word toss, Strong's 8:1607, it said to shake, to quake, to be shaken up. It says convulsed, which I got this word convulsed. Bear with me. That word convulsed. It says suffered violent, involuntary contraction of the muscles, producing contortion of the body or limbs. And this is what the Lord is doing spiritually to this man in his rulership. You would violently, it said a violent, involuntary contraction of the muscles, man. Shake uncontrollably violent, to jerk, going to spasms. See, and we seeing that spiritually, these are the different symptoms of the downfall of a kingdom, man. This man, the money is about to crash. The economic structure of this place is finished. The food is defiled. The air is defiled. The water, the people, on the physical level, the minds of the people. You know, and a plethora of other things. This man, his military is stretched thin. Everyone is looking at him, and you know they smell blood in the water. That's just like you seeing a nigga that been terrorizing you all your life, and he fell on the ground. He's having a seizure. Well, that's what we seeing the so-called white man. Let's see. Second definition: an emotional. It's like an emotional laughter or physical stimulus cause someone to make sudden, violent, uncontrollable movements. See? Oh, it says throw a country into a violent social or political upheaval. See? And that's what the Lord did. He's doing. We actually is witnessing that now. This place is in a violent social and a political upheaval, man. So that's why you're seeing everything is now being stirred up. Tells you the Lord is not going to move or stir the time until the said measure is fulfilled. That's why the only thing left is for the chip to come. That's it. And that's what this man is trying to push towards. That's why the crown is here, because that's the prelude to the MOTB, man. All right, it's back in that word toss. It says to shake back and forth, toss real to and fro. The Strongs, it says to agitate violently. See, so this man is agitated. Like I said, you was able to open all these doors. Now this the door that's locked. So you seeing Esau is putting more force to it. The nigga using his shoulder, he's trying to kick the door down. And it starts by the way of his these different laws being put in play. And ultimately, you're gonna physically see it by the way of his military. You know. It says, let's read it again. It says, and though the ways, it's like, well, let me start at the top again. Jeremiah 5:22. Fear ye not me, said the Lord. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? And though the waves of the world toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. See? So yeah, no matter how much you use your military, how many drones you have, or sentinels, or whatever, tanks, you're not going to prevail. It says, though they roar, let's get this word war. Let's get this word war. Because though he do all these things, it's not going to. Well, it tells you in the book of Isaiah 47, stand now without enchantments, so thou mayest prevail. If so be thou, if, you know, because this is old for you devils, man. So this that word roar, Strong's 8, 1993. It says to murmur, to growl. It says to rage. See? Be in an uproar. Be in a stir, be in a commotion. See? Some in the Strongs, it says to rage. Oh, it says war. It says, and this devil he's gonna wage war on us. That roadblock that's in the way, you're gonna wage war on it. With the prophets is their roadblock. That dead end this man is seeing. You know, it says to be troubled, be in an uproar. See, so though you roaring and it's taking place by the way of his laws and legislations, yet can they not pass over it. See, because this man believes that if he set it in legislations that he it tells you that in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, 2nd chapter, let our strength be the law of justice, because this man trusts in his laws and his legislations. But the Lord is gonna is going to cut all that off. Let's get this. Psalms 12:3. The Lord shall cut off all flattering lips and the tongue that speak of proud things. See? Yeah, cut the so-called white man. Like I said, did his laws, his media, his rhetoric. It's all intertwined, and it's pride. Everything this man puts forth is pride, because this nigga, there's no accountability with him. He feel like that he's the guy, and it plays out when he open his mouth. Like I said, all the way down to a law being passed, to something you hear on a commercial, man. Where it said the Lord's gonna cut it off. It says, "Who have said, with our tongue will we prevail?" See, so that's why you get that word mandatory being thrown around. This is how they saying they're gonna prevail. If they put it in law, you gotta pay. You gotta follow it. So that's why it's gonna get a point of time. These things actually gonna be in law. Such, you read Revelation 13:16. It said he calls of all, and you go into that word calls. It goes into an ordinance. Just like back then in Nebuchadnezzar, that was an actual decree. That was an actual law that you had to bow down to the image. How much more in this time right here, man? You know, so it says, "Who else said, with our tongue will we prevail? Our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us?" See? So that's what this man is saying. That he's the guy. That he's the Most High. And whatever he say goes. You know? But at the end of the day, the Lord's going to overthrow this man. You know, no matter all these laws, these legislation he put forth. Matter of fact, I want to end off on this. All these laws, his military, it don't matter, man. At the end of the day, he's going to lose, man. No matter how much money and resources and time he put into this, it's already set in stone that he's going to be overthrown. I think it's Job 4. Bear with me. Job 4. Yeah, Job 4:10. The roaring of the lion and the voice of the fierce lion. See? So, and that's talking about the so-called white man. You know, because he's that lion, because he's in power right now. He's that predator. And it said the roaring of the lion and the voice of the fierce lion. See that, or they tell you that nation of a fierce countenance. We're talking about this man and his harsh laws, man. Which we're in the beginning stage where it's going to become worse. You might have a time limit on water and power before it completely goes away. You know, that's going to actually be law. It's going to be law. You got to roll your sleeves up and take that. To ultimately, you got to hold your hand out and take that. You know, in the plethora of other draconian tactics this man is going to bring forth. It says, and the teeth of the young lion, see, because that's what's ultimately going to lead to. These different laws, legislation being passed, the different sayings you hear on TV, the commercials that you see, all those things actually leads up to the teeth of his military coming forth. It said, and the teeth of the young lions are broken, see? So out of all this, and it said the young lion, so that's a lion full of vigor, pretty much at his height and his prime. Because who else seen a military at this point in time? This man, his night vision goggle is, you know, he actually just got a new generation of night vision goggles. This man got fighter jets and tanks and drones and a plethora of other things concerning his military. And it said all that's going to be broken, man. So this devil's going to lose at the end of the day. So though they roar, they're not going to prevail. Though they talk, they're not going to pass over it, man. So yeah, I just hope to edify. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect that sees word in our true faith and sincerity. DTA, Abide Babal. Soon, very soon.